Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today it is that time of the month, okay? It is that time of the month where we are starting to get spoilers for the upcoming chapter of the Dragon Ball Super manga. So before we get into the video, guys, as always, I have to remind you, if you do not want spoilers of any kind, please leave the video, okay? If you do not want spoilers, please leave the video, even though we will only be talking about the beginning portion of the chapter, like the first 8 pages. If you still do not want spoilers in any way, shape or form, there's your warning, okay? If you are still here, I'm going to assume you are either okay with spoilers or you've already seen them and you're just waiting for my opinion on it. So there's your warning. So let's get into it. And also, actually, before we do, I do just have to ask you guys that if you're new to this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button and making sure to leave a like or dislike, whichever you want, and of course leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on what we discuss here in this video. And also, before we continue, I do just have to say we passed 500 subs, and I cannot thank you guys enough to every single person who did subscribe to this channel. We are over the halfway mark now. We just got 500 more. Guys, if you are watching this video and if you like my channel, if you want to support the channel, please leave a like and also subscribe to help me get to that 1,000 mark, and hopefully I'll get to that mark before the end of the year. Guys, I do check the analytics, and I know that most of you guys watching my channel are not subscribed, so if you want to change that and help me get to 1,000, just hit the subscribe button, especially if you really want to support my channel and help it out with the algorithm, because that's really the best way to leave a like, subscribe, and sharing a comment in the comment section, to letting us know your thoughts on what we discussed in this video. And also remember to hit the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video or whenever I go live. So with all of that said out of the way, now that all that stuff's out of the way, so let's get to the actual content in and of itself. So we have the early draft pages as always, and it is basically a continuation of the fight between Vegeta and Granolah, and I feel like this chapter is going to make a lot of Vegeta fans happy. Although there is also a big chance that it's not going to make Vegeta fans happy. Instead, it's going to make them mad, and I'll get into why that is after we get through the actual draft pages. So this was posted on the official Dragon Ball website, which you can go check it out. There's the link, you can see it right there. And we get the early draft pages as always. Now keep in mind, guys, these are the early sketches. The final product will look a hell of a lot better. So we'll get through them, but we also have translations courtesy of Herms as always, guys. Shout out to Herms. Go follow him on Twitter if you want to show him some support, because he does give us some pretty amazing translations, pretty accurate translations of what's happening, because I'm pretty sure a lot of us who follow this don't speak and or read Japanese. So we do get the early draft, and again, it is mostly a fight, and I'll get through all of them. I'll give you guys my thoughts on the actual fight that we see here in a second, but let's get to the translations. So this is coming to us from Herms, of course, as always. Again, like I said, go show him some support by following him on Twitter. So he says, the roughs are out for Dragon Ball Super Chapter 75, a god of destruction's power, Granolah, and this is the conversation between them. So he says, Granolah says, what do you mean your power has no limit? This is in response to what Vegeta said at the end of the previous chapter. And Vegeta responds, you've really gotten cocky. Well, you'd know, Vegeta. I mean, seriously, if anyone would know, you would. Get ready, because now I'm going to get rough with you. Okay. The fact that Vegeta said this line in particular, I have some thoughts on this line in a second, but again, I'll get to my actual thoughts on it when we get through the actual pages. So you can see the fight does continue on. You can see him releasing some energy. I think this is but it does kind of look like he's preparing for a final flash, or his new move. What is it? Gamma burst flash or whatever it's called. But it seems like he's just releasing God of Destruction energy, and I'm actually interested, because it's making contact with Granolah, but it's not doing anything, which is kind of weird, because we know that God of Hakai energy, once it comes in contact with anything, it just completely disintegrates it. But yeah, Granolah blows it away. Vegeta shows up and grabs him by the throat. This is what you saw here, and this is a clearer image of what we saw. So there it is, and I'm sure, again, this I'm willing to bet when this gets animated, a lot of you remember when Dragon Ball Super was airing, and every time there was this big moment with either Vegeta or Goku, you saw a bunch of reactors all going, oh my god, and all that stuff. I feel like this is going to be one of those moments when this does get animated, and we'll get to what Vegeta actually says right here. I think, yeah, this is what he says right here. And then he just gives him a big headbutt, and then he gives him a headbutt and then throws him. And I just want to talk about one thing right here, how the panels move from one to the next. If you've read Toriyama's Dragon Ball, you'll know that when it comes to fight scenes in particular, Toriyama had this incredible way of having each panel just flow smoothly from one to the next. Your eyes are clearly given a path to follow, and it feels like for me, Toyotaro has finally adapted that style of storytelling, at least when it comes to visual storytelling, at least when it comes to the fight scenes. Because if you look at the fight scenes in the early portion of the Dragon Ball Super manga, they were well drawn, but they weren't, I guess you could say, well structured. At least from a comic perspective, if that makes a lot of sense. So let's move on. Let's move forward to the next tweet. He goes, the beating continues. Vegeta says, the way I am now, the more my fighting spirit burns, the stronger I grow. And that's it. That's the whole thing. So let's take a look at the actual. So this is what I mean. Let me just show you what I mean. So look at this page. Granolah, he falls after Vegeta throws him, turns around, jumps up, but then immediately see Vegeta. You can see him prepping the axe handle, hits him, throws him down, and then you can see it continuing here, and then you can see hitting the rug. Although I would have added some lines here, maybe it will in the final product just to show the actual what's it called, the actual path of Granola's descent to the earth, I guess you could say. And then you can see Granolah. And then, yeah, you can see it continue here and then move forward. See, it's done better here, but for some reason it wasn't added here. I don't know. And then Vegeta immediately back and then continues with this kick. And again, just beautifully flows from one panel to the next. And again, I got to give Toyotaro credit for this. And then Granolah turns around, prepares to fire his those ki blasts that he fired. We were used to seeing him firing. And then notice that Vegeta's gone. Vegeta knocks him back with a knee to the ground, and then Granolah jumps back. Vegeta's still pretty confident, gets hit straight to the stomach. You can see he's bleeding, but Vegeta is not phased in any way, and that's because he says, according to him, the way I am now, the more my fighting spirit burns, the stronger I grow. And that's it. The full chapter will be out in about a week per the norm. That's true. Okay. Now, what do I think of this? Well, actually, before I do, let's just move on forward to this, what Herms is giving us. Vegeta's line here literally means to treat someone tenderly, but in battle manga and the like is often sarcastically used to mean the exact opposite. A parody of this usage appeared in the Namek arc with Jace over-explaining the joke. Granola's line here, this is a page straight from this is what he's talking about. Granola's line here asking, what do you mean your power has no limit, is referencing the end of the last chapter where Vegeta said his power had no upper limit. Grammar-wise, it seems the more his fighting spirit is made to burn, the stronger he gets. This is probably why he says it after Granolah hits him, and the tougher the competition, the more revved up he gets. Oh, I like this. I like this response. Waiting for Granolah to say 2 pages later, he overuses his powers versus Goku and is only at 1% power against Vegeta. Then Vegeta gives him the Senzu Bean and gets one shot. Dude, I know this was a joke, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this actually did happen. Okay, so what do I think of this? Well, first of all, I think that I do like that, usually whenever you have a character in a story, especially in a battle shonen, they introduce this new power. Usually what the writers will do is they'll have them show you just how powerful that makes them. And I feel like that's what we're seeing here with Vegeta, his new power, and how he's able to just mollywop Granolah. Although, as you can see, Granolah can still put up a fight. He is able to land a pretty what looks like a pretty serious blow to Vegeta, although it seems like he's not really phased, because like he said, the way I know, the more my fighting spirit burns. But it seems like Vegeta's not, not worried. Although I do just want to point out, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because people probably think that, Vegeta's gotten to power so strong that Granolah can't hurt him. That's not the case, because you can see Granolah can still hurt him. It's just that it's a case of, it seems like the longer this fight continues, the stronger Vegeta's gonna get. And I feel like, knowing that, Granola's probably going to realize, okay, I can't mess around with this guy anymore. And he's going to find a way to knock him out. Basically, do to Vegeta what Granolah already did to Goku, where he's going to target a weak point. And that'll be to where it doesn't matter how strong you are. Once you get a hit to that spot specifically, you're out. I feel like that's probably going to be Granola's strategy moving forward. And personally, does this mean that I think that Granolah is, like, we're seeing, the most of his ability? Personally, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case because, remember, we are still nowhere near the end of the arc. And personally, I feel like if you, so if you saw the interview that Toyotaro did with Victor Yoshida, and I did a video covering this, but if you saw that interview, they talked about how they wanted to use this fight to utilize not only how strong Granolah is, but also to show you Goku and Vegeta's, growth thanks to their training. And we did see that. We saw it with Ultra Instinct, with Goku, and now we're seeing it with Vegeta and his new God of Destruction, G.O.D. Power. Although personally, I feel like Granola's not going to lose here. And I'll tell you why. I feel like Granola's not going to lose here. I feel like he's going to win, because it's going to be the typical thing that we usually see with Dragon Ball, where the heroes will lose, but then they'll come back later, they're going to fight again, and that time they actually will win. Because to me personally, I feel like if Granolah really were to lose here, it would be really, really disappointing, because, Granolah made the wish to the Cerealian dragon to become the strongest. And they talked about how, in the interview, they wanted to use this fight to show you just how strong Granolah has gotten. And I feel like if they were to have Granolah lose here, then it would almost be like, well, then what was the point of making the wish to make him the strongest if only a couple months later, two people showed up who basically kicked his ass? Well, I say two people, it was mostly just one. Let's face it, Goku got his ass kicked. I mean, there's no way around it. I feel like personally, we just haven't seen the full power of Granolah, and I'll tell you why. Because throughout the fight between whether it's Goku versus Granolah or Vegeta versus Granolah, the one thing that we've seen that was a constant is Granolah has constantly underestimated Vegeta and Goku. And I feel like he's still doing that now, especially in the last chapter where you saw how arrogant Granolah was acting. I feel like, I just feel like Granolah might realize in this fight that, okay, these guys are a lot stronger than I thought. These guys are a lot more dangerous than I thought. I cannot afford to underestimate these guys anymore. So what he's going to realize that, okay, according to this guy, he gets stronger the more his fighting spirit burns. So I can't afford to let that happen. So I feel like he's going to finally start taking it seriously. And he's going to go for a one-hit knockout. Basically due to, again, Vegeta, what he did to Goku, where he's going to put his focus on one attack that's going to knock him out completely. Where it doesn't matter if you got a fighting spirit or whatever the fuck, like, it completely shuts down your body. Like, you're out cold. I feel like that's probably going to be what happens. Either that, or he's going to be so pissed at how Vegeta's acting, he's going to finally realize that he can't hold back anymore. He actually genuinely powers up. And that's going to be when we get a hint as to just how strong Granolah has actually gotten. Because I feel like, again, if he were to lose here, it'll be such a big disappointment, because it'll be, well, then what was the point of making the wish if two people showed up and just ended up kicking his ass in the first place? It'll be kind of disappointing. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video. Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comment section down below. And also, remember, if you want to support the channel, hit the like button, share this video, and specifically subscribe to the channel if you want to help me out, guys. And again, big thank you to everyone who did subscribe for helping me get over the 500 subscriber mark. If you want to help me get to the 1000 mark, hit the subscribe button, and also all the other stuff, liking, sharing, and leaving a comment letting me know your thoughts of what we talked about in this video. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and bye for now.